It's October. It's the fall. We're here with the prolific press poets. It's Glenn Livers. We're going to start things off this month with our poetry group. Gloria Caviglia, please.
Hi, everyone. Okay, this is called changing. A pause that can be felt, reflective synergy, sense of wet leaves and cedar burning. A bright harvest moon calls the winds to awaken. Dark walks, then runs. Into the days, a metamorphosis inevitable. This quiet peace, they call it Indian time, when the body cocoons light as darkness shrouds it tightly. A hibernation of the soul. The Tlingit have no word for it, these people of the tides, but embrace it as they reflect on the future in harmonious synchrony. They too ebb and flow with the changing of the seasons, leaving the past where it is. They have no word for regret. They have no word for thanks.
That's lovely. I think we have room for everybody to do three if you have more.
I have another one. I wrote it in Spanish, but I can read it. I'll read it in Spanish, and if you want me to, I can translate it for you. It's called Dia de los Muertos. Durante 3 días honran a los que se han sido. Vienen de visita, comer, rezar, beber y de nuevo. Los angelitos, adultos y todos espíritus. Calendulas en las tumbas, colores brillantes, no triste, solo alegría. Ellos han venido, los antepasados sonríen. Todo el mundo celebra porque han sido nutridos hasta la próxima vez.
Mm.
If you want me, do you want it again or do you want it in
Sure.
English?
Well,
Okay.
I think it would be good for our yeah, I think it'd be good for some folks.
Okay. For 3 days, it's called Dia de los Muertos. For 3 days, they honor those who have gone. They come to visit, to eat, to pray, to drink, and again, the children, the adults, all spirits, marigolds on the tombs, brilliant colors, no sadness, only joy. They have come, they are happy. Everyone celebrates, for they have been nourished until the next time. Thank you.
Muy bien. Qué fantástico.
Gracias. Muchas gracias.
All right. Very, very nice. All right. I'm going to just deviate here for 1 second and turn on sharing for everybody because I always forget. So anybody can do that. Let me pull up a couple of quick poems that I wrote for today. And for the listening audience, we did have a loose a loose theme here, which was change and fall and so forth. And so, as I get older, I think more and more about forgiveness and how important it is, and to me, and so I wrote about change, and I specifically wrote about forgiveness. So let me just pull this up. These are brand new, not quite edited. So I haven't. My process is more like write something, throw it in a drawer, and let it marinate. Come back, check on it later before I put it out there. But these are new. So the first one of these two is called Forgiveness, and it reads thusly. It begins quietly, like leaves stirring under the breath of an approaching tide. Not an event, but a slow erosion, the way rivers pull mountains to the sea. It seeps in with small gestures, hands unclasped, rooms left empty, footsteps retraced, as if they might find what was once misplaced. We imagine it loudly, the shattering of glass, or suddenly there, the vacuum of a lightning split. But forgiveness is kindness wrapped in shadows, asking only that we let go of our own storm within. It is the earth shifting beneath us, subtle, yet everything leans. And so we learn to balance differently, to steady ourselves on more welcome ground. One day we wake to see the imperfection of old mirrors, a dullness where once there were bright lines, and we realize we have worn our hearts thinly. It brings change in the ways that matter. Like water smooths stone, we become more like the sea, reclaiming what we hardened, washing clean what we adorned in darkness. And the second, thank you. The second poem is a group of haiku, and it's called Forgiveness in Nature. Soft mist on the lake, old shadows drift like lost thoughts. Beneath waves, they fade. Maple leaves let go, quietly blanketing earth, whispers laid to rest. Rivers wear smooth stones. Silent hands wash old sorrows. Memories dissolve. Frost loosens its hold. Petals stir in timid sun. Trust begins to bloom. Across the still dawn, a gentle warmth spreads like peace. All is light again. Thank you, friends. Appreciate that. And um, I'm going to go ahead and move on to Mary Gunn. I'm always nervous about Mary Gunn being on the phone that we might lose her, so I try to get her up early when she comes. Mary Gunn, please.
Hi, Glenn. Can you hear
Yeah.
me?
Ah, yes, we can hear you just fine. Thank you.
Yeah, this is Mary Gunn. I'm in on the east coast of Ireland, and I've got two poems for you. The first one is an acrostic called Halloween, but it can also be called Autumn because that's what the acrostic spells. And it goes like this: All deciduous leaves are falling, unending swathes of bronze and yellow, turnips and pumpkins, faces glowing, unusual costumes, and a cheery hello. Mother's warning: fewer sweets, more fruits, no homework today, just Halloween pursuits. And I'll read that one again. All deciduous leaves are falling, unending swathes of bronze and yellow, turnips and pumpkins, faces glowing, unusual costumes, and a cheery hello. Mother's warning: fewer sweets, more fruits, no homework today, just Halloween pursuits. I think that one was published originally in your Jewel Coast magazine. And my second one is, I would call it a remembrance, sort of remembrance tank. Remembering the centenary of their births, my parents long gone, the monkey puzzle tree still grows in the front garden. And I'll read that one again. Remembering the centenary of their births, my parents long gone, but the monkey puzzle tree still grows in the front garden. You said we could read the third one. Do you want the third one?
Yeah, sure. Always.
Yeah, just a second. I have another one here. It's kind of an autumn themed one as well. Leaves falling. Some broader than my two hands, others just a fingernail. Leaves falling. Some broader than my two hands, others just a fingernail. And
That's
that's my lot
wonderful.
for today. Thank you.
You know, when you wrote that line or you read your line, no homework today. Boy, it sure swept me back to those happy days. You know, those little pleasures of it just makes you feel like, oh yeah, no homework today. That was wonderful. Thank you, Mary
Yeah,
Ellen.
Halloween is a big thing for school children here. They get the most of a week off school, and the bangers were already going off tonight. So I'm glad they didn't go off while I was on the phone to you.
Oh, that's just wonderful. Thank you for sharing those. So well done.
Okay, thanks.
Um, okay. Oh, I'm just now reading the comments that came in on my stuff. Thank you guys. Very nice. David Kelly, please.
I have just one piece for you, and perhaps unoriginally, it's called Autumn, and it's a Haibun piece, so it's a mix of the prose and the haiku. Autumn. It never struck me then how you could laugh in the company of pain. Only later, reaching the milestones you passed, did it seem strange. Perhaps it was misdirection, a way of protecting those around you from your inner fears. The twisted you endures another storm, this gnarly grief. The afternoon light is merciless. It paints the world in sharp contrasts of bright and shade. There's a communal wince from everyone who dares to face west. Most of the intrepid travellers are tucked behind last season's sunglasses. First year's mind. Musky incense lingers in my clothes, my hair. Shadows lengthen. Each leaf offers up faint farewell to lucent day, to summer heat, to life. Friendly faces emerge from memory, a fated few who had no chance to say goodbye. I offer them each a voiceless valediction. Funereal pyre, rainbows buckle and blacken in a fierce sunset.
Very nice, David. Appreciate that. Um, I see that you muted yourself, so I guess you don't have another one. And that was just wonderful. I really appreciate that. Mike Flanagan, please.
I have a Tonka and a Tonka Pros. Tonka's first. Autumn evenings when the golden light whispers of magic in the air, you only have to look. Autumn evenings when the golden light whispers of magic in the air, you have only to look. Then I have a Tonka Pros. Um, Life is strange. At the checkout, I find myself talking to the clerk about how warm it is for October and how I keep thinking this bunch of daisies will surely be the last ones for the year, and that soon I'll be replacing them with artificial lilacs and daisies at your grave. And that's at Fort Snelling, while the clerks are over at Union Cemetery. I pay, she gives me my change, and we both say at the same time, thank you. The secrets we carry but never speak of, then one day, without warning, they escape. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Uh, okay. Doug Van Hooser, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm going to start with a poem that's apropos to the time of the year, and I'm in southern Wisconsin. Next week, it's supposed to hit the 80s. The old summer comes back thing. This was written previously when the same thing occurred. It seems to occur almost every year. It's titled Autumn Scarecrow. Late October, the tree leaves bloom rust red, fire orange, daffodil, lemon, and varnished oak yellow. The wind bullies in from the south, whitecaps waves on the lake. The temperature inflates to 80. Is it a gasp or a howl? Summer crying, "Don't leave me," or bellowing, "I won't go." The squirrels don't care as they bound across rippling grass, scurry up oaks and hickories. Change is a heavy rock. I can't give up what I know. The comfort time has composed my private symphony. Even the gaps between movements hums. For 3 days, the wind attempts to bring back summer warmth, but the sun lays low in the sky, won't kindle July heat. I fiddle with the knob, try to bring in a clear signal, but it wavers and static cackles. Wild turkeys cross the road. Um, this other poem kind of talks about the change in life. Another Tuesday. When I left the time grinder workforce, I learned all days are Tuesday, and melancholy is the name of a belled cat. Alone doesn't mean by yourself, that is just a symptom. I read it's not necessary to smoke a pack a day to shorten life's calendar. Apparently, the lifestyle of a hermit is a slow form of suffocation, a way to nail yourself to a cross. I discover silence is a vacuum that grows weeds of imagination. Some flower and go to seed, but most die deadhead. I still have one old friend reading. Yes, he or she says some things that fascinate, some I disagree with, and some that slap the book shut. If and when the phone rings, I hesitate to answer. Too many strangers know my number and think they have my number. My innocence is naive, assumes goodness is the default. Some days I take my seat on the past train and stare out the window. The changing scenery needs my dough, but without human yeast, I am flat. When the cat's bell rings, I sit on the back porch beach, wait to wash out with the tide inching towards me. Tuesdays crawl now. I wonder, when did I sprint, carry the torch, kiss the sword's hilt, get the girl? I realize I don't remember my first kiss or whose lips, but I do remember the last. And if I read a third one, we'll go back here to the nature related stuff. Deciduous. Outside my window, the ashes bare branches look entangled. Furrows of bark rivulets creased in thought. 3 leaves cling, yellow caution they are about to fall, do a triple forward somersault to the ground. But they hold their petiole grip, refuse to dive into the yolk pile. Every year, the same deciduous decision: drain the chlorophyll, shed the year's green cloak, and refuse to shiver hearing the winter wind's words, the temperature's cold attitude. I wish I was deciduous, could drop everything, hibernate, stand stoic as a statue, ignore the snow's cold shoulder, be patient on the thaw. Another chance to leaf and hear the breeze whisper metaphors, the blue jay's smart aleck replies, the squirrel's insistence, the rush and high of chlorophyll, and bending just enough to let the thunderstorms pass. Thanks.
Excellent, thank you. I'm getting ready to let somebody in that I don't recognize. Let's see how this goes. Maybe this is your friend here. While that person gets seated, I want to, oh, we know her. I didn't recognize you. Your email address there, all the way from Hawaii. Yeah, you're muted. I can't.
Here you go. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
sorry I'm late. Goodness. Yeah, I put And I realized you probably wouldn't recognize the email
Yeah, it's okay. Well, we're really
after
glad.
I had excuse me, registered. So it's
Great.
good to
Well,
be here.
yeah, we haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming in. Um, I wanted to address one piece of your poem there, Doug, and that is that I always am almost in awe of this poetic element. In that first poem, the very last line, when you say "wild turkeys cross the road," it's this it's just this new thing that's tacked on, and it suddenly just takes you to this. It just really works. I was so and it's not quite an epiphany, but it's just this immersion in the scene that happens in the reader. Am I the only one that just like grabbed? Yeah, see, got a lot of people shaking their heads here. That was so well done. What a strong element to put in. I couldn't think of a better way to finish that piece, and I just wanted to congratulate you on that. It was really good work.
Thank you.
Okay, let's move on to our other Irish friend, Sean O'Connor, please.
Hey folks, great to see you all again. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Big nods of heads. So I'm going to read three, but two of them are ridiculously short, a haiku and a tanker. And the high one that I'll read after that is also short, so it's short all around. So I will read this one twice. This haiku is as follows. Autumn equinox. He leaves space for my name, the old stone cutter. Autumn equinox. He leaves space for my name, the old stone cutter. I'll read this twice as well. I think it's a tanker. Uh, and it is as follows. Sparks to the heavens, to the gods, fireworks whistle for the dead's return. In the fires of Halloween, the glow of my father's face. Sparks to the heavens, to the gods, fireworks whistle for the dead's return. In the fires of Halloween, the glow of my father's face. And given that we're on an autumn theme, I have also written a high one called Autumn. It's set in spring. No, I'm joking. It's it's a new experiment. Incidentally, it may sound like it opens in spring because I mentioned lambs, but the phrase "when the lambs are gone" is an autumn thing because it's October when you fail to qualify after October as a lamb if you're a sheep. In other words, spring lamb is actually slaughtered up to October. At least that's the way it is in Ireland, and we have a lot of sheep. So anyway, it is actually all in autumn. So this is a high boom. Autumn, with the lambs gone, the field near the graveyard. It seems distant now. Autumn is the season of dislocating beauty. Its yellowing, browning, reddening hues, so softly vibrant, disguise their heraldry of bleak and barren times, frugal and hungry. It whispers death, incites an urgeful fretting, inspires an urgency to chop and cut and save. Take stock, savor its portending brilliance, for we too will wither. Their rustling sound, leaves across the graveyard, blowing south.
South. Yeah, that's nice.
Thank you.
Okie dokie. Thank you, Sean. All right. Emily. Emily Strauss, please.
Hello.
I'm Emily. I live in a small town in Southern Oregon, which is about a half a world away, I'm pretty sure, from Ireland. I think it is. And I looked back in my archives and found two poems that seem to relate to the theme of this part of the year. I'm gonna see if I can share my screen. Let me see if I know how to do that. How do I do that? This one, this one. Okay. Share. I got it. Okay. The last 70-degree day, which happened a while ago now. The last warm day, October without smoke. Soon nights will be in the 20s, highs will dip into the 50s, then 40s. It's time to get out the scarves, hats, coil the garden hoses, cover the spigots and air vents, arrange cat shelters piled with warm rags, put out more food, check the water bowls, break the ice. Winter is coming with crisp air, foggy breaths, flashlight on early morning walks, piles of covers on the couch, early lamps, beeswax candles, bean soup, lamb stew. Falling toward the solstice, the garden under snow, raccoon tracks across the yard, deer bedded down in the bushes. It's time to consider slow projects, movies, study, balancing on ice, months of winter. And let's see if I can figure out how to do the second one. This one. This was written 2 years ago, but it's extremely pertinent, seeing as in this country we have a thing called an election coming up, but this is not from this year. Tuesday in November. Quiet Tuesday night in November. Snow falling. Pizza place nearly empty. Streets empty. Drifts collect slowly. Not hazardous yet. Electronic music plays somewhere. TVs on silent. Mute images of football. Sunday reruns. Insignificant conversations. Empty beer glasses. Lighted windows in the shops across the street, bright in the snow. Bare jewelry displays. Empty bagel trays. Secondhand clothes. When the snow stops, temperatures will drop into the teens. Bone cracking, tree breaking. The homeless and cats will suffer. They don't even know there's an election. In the morning, pizza dough will rise in the back kitchen. Workers sweep up. At least the 2 downtown streets will get plowed. Metal scraper echoes off the vacant storefronts.
Really nice. Very, very good. I like the cats don't even know there's an election. I wrote this piece called Nobody's Horse that got anthologized all over, and um, I still get calls sometimes or notes. People ask me if they could take it, and I don't care. And that whole idea of the horse doesn't know that it doesn't belong to anybody, and the cat doesn't know there's an election, right? It's just animals that just have this. Oh my gosh! Sometimes I wish I was more like them. Uh, this is wonderful. Bob Moreland, please.
I'm Bob Moreland, Carroll Beach, Pleasant Prairie, Wisconsin, on Lake Michigan. And I'm going to start with the tetractys. This is sort of the English version of haiku. 1, 2, 3, 4 syllables. I'm sorry. Yeah, and then 10. So it's a 5-line. I can't share my screen. So let's see if I show you, it kind of looks like that. This is called Nocturne. Still, quiet of twilight, garden spiders splayed, web kingdom tied to a hanging pot. Violas gone to seed, died in first chill. One last purple face blooming clings to light. Lone coyote lifts his song as chorus joins celebrating fresh kill on the prairie. Earthy smell of fresh cut grasses carries on the faint west wind. Alone, rejoice here. Warm autumn evening royals, winter postponed. Mortality, the last thought of one's mind. Sun dappled reds, orange, eclipse fall, zephyrs convey countless leaves floating down. All too soon, winter's death grip will rattle the naked, bleached, bony limbs of bur oaks. Oaks stood a century. Will we inhale sweet Indian summer breeze? Cherish now. Thank you. So, in keeping with the change of seasons and the glories of nature, this is called Skywatcher. It's blank verse. Skywatcher. He waits, sitting cross-legged in dimming light upon the breakwater perch, facing east, expectant, warmth of the day radiating from the concrete, twilight fading, the first stars begin to shyly appear. The lake is calm after the storms. Gentle waves caress the shore, and he adjusts his breathing to their timing. As constellations pepper the evening sky and are mirrored below in the inky black surface of the Great Lake, he closes his eyes to bathe in the peace. A pinpoint, then a silver sliver glows on the horizon. Light so bright he squints as the full moon grows. Brilliant orb decorated with scrimshaw-like etchings, familiar face. Pulse of the waves quicken as a southeasterly breeze freshens. Harvest moon births from the lake, freed to rise to his sky throne. 10,000 shimmers, ice, and inland sea. The man in solitude hopes to never lose his sense of wonder. Thank you. Well, you said three.
Please.
This is a sestina. If you've never attempted a sestina, don't. There are 39 lines. They have specified form and ending words. And this appropriately is entitled War of the Squirrels. First, pinking light of dawn, dark eyes open, warm furry bodies stir, stretch, and sleep see. A single nose peeks out of the nest secure. She frees herself high atop the ash tree. Warm sun crests the great lake. Bushy tail jerks. She surveys the kingdom at her command. Out of the dark green cottage comes a man. With key in the door, garage is open, picks up empty coffee cans with a jerk, dipping full of sunflower and mixed seed, proceeds to fill the bird feeders near her tree. Squirrel lies in wait, stomach growling, sees cure. The man attached 3 new baffles secure to prevent Fat Squirrel from taking command. Smug, he retreats home, but atop the tree, Nemesis sneaks down to the grassy open. She nibbles stole corn, but eyes the choice seed above, pondering. Her tail spasms jerks. Quote, only feed those birds? Humans are such jerks. Furry gymnast leaps in the feeder secure, stuffs her cheeks with black sunflower seeds. From out of the house, the man screams commands, flying squirrel catapults into open space, belly flops and dashes up her tree. Revenge is plotted high atop that tree. Mistress Squirrel enlists her family, tails jerk. They converge from the 4 winds, cross open yard, attack each feeder, no longer secure. Like locusts they come, eating all they command. Clueless man should have no choice but to cede. Man, quote, how dare those tree rodents steal my birdseed as they lurk waiting high atop my trees? Was I born yesterday? Squirrel, quote, here comes a man to feed us. Squirrel welfare? Men are such jerks. But he found no feeder was secure, so he put the birdseed out for them in the open. Open any feeder, anytime. Seeds eaten, squirrel chatters secure in the tree, her bushy tail jerks taunting. You come, man. Thank you.
Really nice. Actually, one of the smoother Sestinas. Sometimes I feel like the form so constrictive that you can sort of tell where people force it, you know. I didn't feel that in yours. It was really nice. And funny. And I agree with KB here. She says I have some funny squirrel stories. Like, squirrels are funny, right? I mean, they are. I um meet with my brothers. I'll be brief here. We play a video game together once a week for 3 hours. It's family time online. And when I went on this platform to look at, what games are available in the world, and I found this game called Squirrel with a Gun. And it's literally this squirrel that picks up a gun, and the gun is like really big. So it's the squirrel's like clumsily carrying this ridiculous gun around, and he's shooting everything, and it's just so funny. I almost bought it just for the humor of seeing the nonsense, complete mayhem. So funny. Think of those videos online where the dog grabs the sparkler and goes running after the kids or something. It's all mayhem because they don't know what they're doing. Sorry. I digress. Denise Umans, please. You have to unmute yourself. Oh, try again.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yes, we have
Oh,
you now.
thank you. I wanted to say thank you. It's been a while, and I'm really pleased to be back. Thanks for continuing to send me all the mailings. I'm going to read, these are older poems, but the first two are about fall. The first one is called Walking the Beaverbrook Trail. Narrowed by wild azaleas, maples, oaks, and poison ivy, the trail meanders through layered reds and golds, the crunch and crackle of dry tinder and fallen leaves, pungent musk, earth's decay, softened by the bracing chill of October breeze. On the wooden bridge I pause, to harsh cries of geese and a kingfisher's haunting rattle through the trees. A mallard's dabbling tail leaves a rippling smile on the pond, as my thoughts slow to a tortoise pace, and I carve a new face in the landscape with each step I take towards home. The second one is Fall in New England. I live in Boston. Um, and this is about myself and my daughter, actually, when she was small. Her tender feet shuffle through maple, beech, and alder as she falls into a bed of color, gold, ochre, umber, copper, covering her tiny shoes. One by one, she adds leaves to her basket, chanting, red like my doll's dress, yellow like my Lego, orange like oranges. She circles her hands through foliage, leaves flying into the air, then waits head back while birds flutter down into her flowing hair as her laughter catches the fading light. I take her hand, and the wrinkle of winter follows us home. And the third one is just about the glory of nature, really. It's about South Africa, where I come from, and one of the game parks in South Africa. Dwindling light shrouds our ondavel, dims hornbills. Sorry, if I don't mind, I'll start that again. Dwindling light shrouds our ondavel, dims red-billed hornbills, and mutes hardy dars of ibis overhead. A lone-crested barbet hides on a thorny acacia, waiting in flamboyant silence for approaching night. Baboon laughter pierces the dry dust, shimmering in heated shadows like butterflies caught in colors that surround us. Orange-yellow glows across the sky as an impala leaps through twilit bush in a desperate flight for life. Southern stars heighten distant howls, brilliant amidst whiffs of brine meat and tick-tick-ticking of crickies that calm our weary voices in the night.
Very, very good. With your permission, I'm going to borrow your line, Wrinkle of Winter, because I just love that. Isn't
Oh,
that nice?
sure.
That just is so sweetly said. And
Thank you.
it's funny. The people that watch these videos later, they come back and they see them on our webpage or on YouTube or something. And I'm not going to pretend like there's a lot of people that watch these. Some people do though. And that what they can't see are the comments. So when people read the poems, the other poets in the group, this I'm saying this for other people's benefit, sometimes they'll grab, a few words that the person said and they'll that were meaningful, that something that sort of hit them, right? And they'll put it in the chat and then we all kind of shake our heads like, yeah, that hit me too. Very good. Bye, Mike Flanagan. We'll see you later. Thanks for coming. Um, so I sometimes I pen them down as I'm going, and I wrote on my notes here, Wrinkle of Winter, because I really like that one. James Bethel, please.
Couldn't find the unmute button. Hi, everybody. James Bethel. That's it.
Hey.
That's me. And I'm in Tulsa, Oklahoma, and we are experiencing our first real honest to God, first chill of a fall day. I have three from a collection of mine that carries the title Halloween Songs. Two of which have been published in Poetry Quarterly. This first one is entitled Eventually October Sunday. Writing, dreaming of somewhere else. This bar is becoming entirely too real. Laughter is mating with familiar paper, wet napkins, depression, and the onset of winter. Soggy effusions from some witch's fingernails. Last leaves from the only oak let go at the quick. Flying past the window like words in Halloween songs in the minds of goblin dwarves. And extending the horror, if you will, of Halloween. This is entitled Wrapped in a Witch Dreaming. Wrapped is with the W-R, wrapped in a witch dreaming. This long fall sings Halloween songs to the witch of November who sleeps yet, Dreaming of death, she wonders at the sensation of awakening. Hear her there, breathing whispers of last leaves falling through pine. Enchantment by gray-green fog breath, sop-wet yellow maple high-tide storm-tossed commuters chatter, confused by the sudden rush of midday warmth. The air, sticky with every conceivable thing, enshrouds a still hopeful mother peering into the crowd for the child who has yet to discover she is missing. Exactly 1/2 mile away, island spruce stand in a sacred circle beneath a sentinel, like school children, wrapped in their listening to some sleepy hollow legend. Thank you. That one's in Poetry Quarterly fall of 2021. The eventually October was in the summer 2021 edition. This one is also from Halloween Songs, not published yet. The collection in circulation, looking for a publisher. This one is entitled Immaculate Reconception. Norma Erica strains, and with her partner Calliope conjures Halloween and a midnight costume party on an island in Maine where the very idea of soul was originally conceived. An ape is officiating, wearing Johnny Weissmuller's Jungle Jim jeans. The groom, a conehead in white face, is marrying a divorced nun, while the devil masturbating his tail laughs at the assemblage. Toulouse-Lautrec and Jerry Garcia lead the singing. Lohengrin has been hired to grin, and Mendelssohn, third on the card to dance with Shakespeare, is searching for his violin. When Roddy McDowell calls for objections, a line will form in protest of such rash individuation as this mid-millennium decision. Father, bless these rings by God. Sarducci is blessing the rings, among other things. Everyone will eat the devil's food and spew imported happiness all over the retrofitted summer cottage. Such a perfect party, a celebration of the immaculate reconception of alien souls. Nobody will know anybody, no matter how close they get, and won't take the time to care. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Well, it's Halloween, you know.
You know, it's great. I love the Halloween time. Oftentimes, I've said it's one of my favorite holidays because people just get together. I saw a funny cartoon going around the internet yesterday. There's two witches, and they're sitting on both sides of this big cauldron, full of soup or something. And the one witch says, "Wow, why is this so good?" And the other witch says, "Because I only use local children." It's silly. All right. Peter Yaremko, please. Is it Peter still here? Oh, I don't think we might have lost him. Francis Flavin.
Greetings, everyone, from the Eastern Sierra Front in Nevada. I want to apologize everybody first. I'm not much of a multitasker, so you won't see much chats from me because I find if I'm trying to do a chat, I'm not listening to what's going on. So I appreciate everyone should know that. Anyway, I have three in descending order of length. First one is Transporter. The afternoon breeze wafts the delicate scent of autumn decay and memories of eastern woods with the red of maple taken by October and the once golden oak leaves falling brown to the moldering earth. The sumac stands resplendent in muted scarlet and bronze, worn like a vest for the chill of melancholy reflection. As the zephyr freshens, the small grove of aspens isolated in this arid place can no longer sustain the scent or the memories that quickly dissipate in the high desert air. Second one is Autumn Rust. This is the haunting time, the melancholy time, the slipping away time, when all that we knew, all that we loved, all that we cherished fade, but are not lost in the rush of color and rust on the way to cold illumination. And finally, a short one. Leaves falling, summer subdued, gray today.
Gray today. Nice.
Leaves falling, summer subdued, gray today. Thank you all.
Very nice. Thank you. Peter, your MCO is here. I'm sorry, Peter, you're next.
Am I unmuted?
You are fine. Yeah.
Okay. I
My
didn't know
eye
what.
just
Yeah.
my eye just went right over you. I'm so sorry. Go
That
ahead.
happens to me a lot, Glenn. Don't worry. My first one is called Oh October. It's appearing in an anthology called Ghosts, Echoes, Shadows, coming out this month. Oh October, giver, taker, scary maker, masked month of pumpkin-headed ghouls, misty ghosties, headless horsemen shortening our days with early darkness, harrowing the quick and setting witches wheeling, rising, dying, mirth-making month of surrendered leaves falling before your coldening winds, too dried, too tired to try anymore. You beguile us with your profane frights and shadowed things that bump in the night, simply to rouse us to sweet revelry one last time before final summer's setting. And the next one I'd like to read is called November Water. That was in Avalon Literary Review a couple of years ago. I lived on Cape Cod at the time, and we had a pond with koi in it. And at the end of fall, they go down to the bottom of the pond and hibernate, one heartbeat a minute. So I wrote this to convey the sadness. Darkening autumn is falling fast on summer-spent days. No more younglings at play long into the dusk, their heated yelling in the faraway. All gone home. The bankside rock, once too hot to sit upon, cold as concrete now, cold as koi. I yearn to fatten them against winter abstinence, to glut their bellies against lonesome hibernation. But already desultory in November water, they disdain my charity, their hearts beating down tempo to catch the cadence of mine. And I have one haiku that I wrote yesterday morning walking through the Yale campus. I live across the street from Yale in New Haven. Leaves fall in beauty, while dying they teach their final lesson.
Wow. And I really love those nature poems that are they have those layers like that. And they say so few words, but they say so much. You feel like, how could you say so much with so little? And when I feel that, then I know that somebody hit something, they really hit on it. Very, very, very good. Um, that that's a keeper right there. Chris Wood, please.
Hello, coming from Chattanooga, Tennessee. This one is called Before Us. October sketches amber and crimson, freckling the sky copper, covering the driveway and the fading grass. Branches slough their beauty as afternoon stretches into evening, skeletons laid bare, shivering, exposed like the old photographs scattering the wrought iron table. Your childhood filmed in yellow monochrome, sanguine hues hidden in fake smiles, stiff poses, and lost innocence. Longing etches your face, those eyes, those beautiful brown eyes looking at me as though you loved me then. And this next one is called Autumn Dances. It is published in the Avocet. Okay, all of a sudden my computer's going crazy. Okay, I'm sorry about that. Okay, Autumn Dances. Daylight surges. The curtain sways across the window, bunching in the corner. I smile at morning's cool breath. Dogs chatter, romp, and play in the frosted grass, paw and nip at each other, sniff the air. Possums settle in for the day, and raccoons sneak to their burrows after a night of hunting, foraging. From the neighbor's garden, a beaver drags the last cornstalk through the storm drain to the dam built on the creek. Blue jays, wrens, and cardinals still sing, flitter, and nimble the feeder hanging over the deck. Geese honk and flock in the sky outside my window. And you groan at the sunshine, pull the blanket over your head, and tell me to go away. And this last one is called Tale of the Twin Red Oaks. It was just accepted in Lit Chart magazine. Tale of the Twin Red Oaks. Forgotten acorns buried by fox squirrels sprout the day Wall Street crashed. As the stock market plummeted, tender leaves reached for the sun. They grew through the sadness, the Great Depression, the Dust Bowl, war. Bud in the days of rock and roll, poodle skirts and Elvis. Blossom with lava lamps and bell bottoms as man landed on the moon. Roots deepen while Pac-Man gobbles the arcade and the Berlin Wall crashes to the ground. Thrive through the Clinton years, then knuckle and gnarl in the new millennia. A home to ravens' nests and owl dens, hollowed out by woodpeckers. They still stand tall, surviving progress at the edge of the parking lot outside my office window. Their leaves, a brilliant crimson, flame the horizon this November morning, falling like lit matches to the wet ground. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, Bob, that growing at the sunshine thing. And very, very nice. Linda Imbler, please.
Hi, everybody. This is Linda in Wichita, Kansas. I have 2 poems today. I went with the themes of change and aging. This first one's called The Heart's Camera. That second of time caught in an eyepiece as the camera shuttered loudly snapped. The capturing of blissful calm and ease on young faces of those photographed. This image will stand as a testament to the history of good friends well met, to whom, to what, and to how it was then. Photostat narrative of this close set. Their stout hearts worn on their sleeves that noon, sleeves now faded with the passing of time. And so this photo keeps fading too, as each one arrives at the finish line. This next one is called Michael's Memories. Michael's at the locked door, staring in the window beyond the glass, waiting for the owner's key to turn and bring him a smile of pages as he recalls the old bookstores of his youthful days, the glare of fluorescence reflecting off the lily whiteness of paper, the touch of supple leather and the smell of binding glue, the weight of multiple tomes upon his arms, muscular in their day, the once muscular arms of Michael. Michael's on the mountain's high top watching flexible branches sway. Shadows play around him, reminding of times around the campfires, with friends telling genial and generous stories. Wearing vest for warmth as midnight draws near and upon still burning coals lie, the vestiges of burned hot dogs and dripping marshmallows, the smell of coffee grounds and pine in his nose, pine tree scent in his nose, the once juvenile nose of Michael. Michael's holding his guitar and strumming up and down the fretboard, waiting for his fingers to imitate the ease of moving the strings, remembering the first-rate songs of his yesterdays, familiar chords constructing glorious harmonies, massaging the ears, musical satisfaction by means of limber digits, nature's fiscal gift once sent to his hands, beauty produced by him from once bending fingers of Michael. Thank you.
Thank you. Did you have another?
No, I only had.
Okay, great. A couple of people in the comments here noting how bringing the smells into the poem were very powerful for them, and always a wonderful evocative thing to bring to each poem. Very, very nice. KB Valentine, please.
Hi, everybody. Coming to you from Greenville, Tennessee. Had every intention of being here last month, but Hurricane Helene hit and I had other ideas. So I am 8 miles from North Carolina. I'm looking at the Cherokee National Forest outside my window and a lot of down trees still, but everybody's okay where I am right now. So missed you guys. Lots of stuff going on this last month. Got a new collection coming out at the beginning of November called All the Way Through. And so I'm going to read, which Glenn very kindly gave me, wrote something for me, and I appreciate that, Glenn. And I'm going to read 2 poems from this. Probably the only thing you need to know from this first poem is there's an Irish Gaelic word, or 3 words, but Cushla Macri, which loosely translated is sweetheart. Probably our Irish folks who are in the room, vein of my heart or something, I think is closer to the truth of that. But it's called Color of Blood and Shadow, Lament for Autumn. You're painting rain into this dazzling day. Don't worry, your secret is safe with me, Cushla Macri. I know your heart is locked in loss, no way to pivot without spiraling into a white abyss. But I long for your laugh between the cedars, the way you pause before answering the woodpecker and twilight with a frosty kiss. How curious you lick each dawn with mist rising from valleys and lakes. How you rain gold, red, and rust. How the taste of earth is just a short sleep before beginning again. Thank you. And this one is called Heart Full of Seed. Wind thrashes the oaks, scatters acorns against the metal roof where squirrels will feast. This room, warm and snug, embraces me. Though the sun has risen and blues the sky, frost veils the cars, the yard, my heart. So many years I shaped you as the villain, but I want to let that go. A splinter moon sets my mind wandering. Do you remember finding me on that midnight trail when the rescue searchers couldn't? How you even brought a thermos of hot tea and pulled socks from your pocket? You were the light I knew would shine, and you shattered me. But the shards I have gathered are trimmed in gold, the edges of every scar shimmering with wisdom, even a kind of peace. Blow, wind. Go ahead and toss the branches. Blow. Drop the loose, the weak, the rotten things, and watch me turn them into gifts. Thank you.
Very, very nice. When that's available, please send me a link. And by the way, it was a beautiful collection, something everybody should have a copy of. I would encourage you to get it when the getting is good. Mary Cook, please.
Hello, I'm coming from northern Massachusetts, live in the woods, and you'll see that from these first two poems. Um, these are all three from the new book that I have out. It's called, I don't know if you can see it, Before I Forget.
Mhm.
I have 4 sonnets for the seasons, and this is the one from our upstairs porch, which we just love because it's like living in a treehouse. And for 2 months of each year, we can eat out there. And this is from the upstairs porch ball. We thought we wouldn't have another chance to bring our dinner to the upstairs porch. We had shut out autumn's leafy dance. But on this gentle day, a warm sky arched. You brushed away the thickening wintry dust from placemats, candle, chairs, the blue salt box. Stay here birds chipped quietly at dusk. The western ember orange sun burnt treetops in the east to neon glow, while crickets tuning up for nightly courtship droned. We sat together silently, our spirits tempered by our meal, our worries flown. If only we could safeguard this small hour when all the world seems bent on hate and war. The next one is free verse called November, like so many other poems, and shorter. Eventually, this dismal rain will stop that canceled out the halcyon days of just last week when we forgot the month while playing in the paper leaves that sifted down like snow. Who could blame me if I wanted back the balmy air, the breeze, the copper trees, the cheerful sky, the thought that winter is delayed? But that can't be. Don't think of it. Winter always follows fall, just as you and I both age. And the last one is a result of my passion for quilting, which then was overwhelmed by my passion for poetry after a short time. This one is called Log Cabin Quilt. She'll have no crazy quilt. All those scraps of memory scattered in reckless abandon like too many zinnias in a garden out of control. Who knows when faded blossoms might glow with new life, disturbing the balance of color. She cuts her own pieces, measures her past into strips, each with a place in a well thought out square. She shades light into dark, builds block after block into sensible form. No wildflowers for her. Even the rose is hemmed in with care. Its thorns cannot pierce, nor scent cast its spell.
That's nice. Very
Thank
good. Oh, and I really think the cadence on that was perfect too. I could almost like visualize the line breaks in that, the way that you were, it was just beautiful. Um, Very nice. Let me just say a couple things here. I have three more people on my list, which is Debbie Walker-Lass, who will go next, then Linda Esposito and Patrice Wilson from Hawaii. Good to see you again, Patrice. If there's anybody here that didn't read that I didn't just um, reference, please send me a note so that I can fix that, and we'll move on to Debbie.
Hello, y'all. I'm in Savannah today, and they think we're going to break a record. They think it's going to get to 90. So it's pretty warm here. Beautiful. It's beautiful. Anyway, I'm glad to be here. I have some tanka poems, which I've been writing lately, and I didn't expect to be reading these. I thought I was reading some old things, but I wrote some new ones. And
Wonderful.
Yeah, yesterday, and so they're raw, but I like them. Okay, on the bench, bring me the flip flops, shawls, blankets, buffet hats, stones. I've become a place. Must be plastered on my face. Easy to believe I'm safe.
Very nice. Good turn on that, by the way.
Thank you. Fall comes a savior, sweeping in to clear old leaves, dust thin as memory, blowing on bones until they rise, humming a resurrection. One more. Fall again. Wilting cut flowers resurrect a dreamscape theme. Constraints fell, leaf-like, pain preserved in berry jars, empty to the naked eye.
Empty. Good. Well, I think you were in the zone when you started getting back into the tanka. Wonderful.
Yeah, it was fun. It was fun,
Yeah, it's a great form.
especially at the beach, sitting on the
There,
bench.
there you go. All right. Lynette Esposito, please.
Hello,
Hi.
this is Lynette Esposito from Mount Laurel, New Jersey. I've got my witch on today. Uh, Going to a costume party for my granddaughter. This poem is from uh, Poetry Quarterly 2020. The Oak Tree. Here's the music of the wind, a voice sometimes soprano, sometimes bass, singing as if no tomorrow will come. The oak tree listens with its ancient sense of things, dropped acorns full of hope, dips and lifts its leaves, dancing. Twigs fly, beat rhythm. The tempo allegros, oak and wind. One waltzes, wrapped invisible arms around its stoic partner. Music plays accompanied by a choir of birds with an orchestra of strings and wooden clarinets. The cold wind tires the old oak tree, undresses it with wild howls that change the song. The ancient tree has its sense of things. Here's the distant piccolo, high pitched but clear. Tomorrow will bring spring. And that's it. Thank you. And I have a little tiny haiku that's also in Poetry Quarterly. Untitled Small Bright Parakeets, set free from import boxes, light in the dark trees. And that's it. And this last one I've been working on. It's not quite ready yet, but ready enough. So here goes. The night sky takes all the credit. The red sky at the beginning of twilight is the sun's last hurrah before the hunter's moon begins its journey across the indigo sky. The moon harvests the ground squirrels and mice for prey-driven owls. Nightlight haunts, a war between seen and unseen, creeps the dark way until dawn that exiles the dark, which keeps the hunted hidden. Golden light overcomes the silver as if it is a surprise attack, a battle for control. And that's it. Thank you.
Very nice. Yeah, those time poems. Very nice. To steal a line from Francis Flavin today, it's this is the haunting time. Right. That was a good one. All right, Patrice.
Yes, here I am at last, or again at last. I have uh, I have two poems and a tanka, and first one called "Autumn Leaves" was just published in National League of American Pen Women website on their website. Um, Autumn leaves. These flaring reds, golden yellows, oranges, magentas are last novas of trees before their brown, crinkled candidates for another kind of fire. An unknowing child delights in myriads of flushed brilliance and loves the idea of snow against black trunks sticking their eerie points into a pallid sky, these painted precursors of death. But the crispy air calls us to be alert for light, that though it fades into a kind of welcome cold, comes burning daily and nightly in a warmth enclosed by the heart. So let them come, the days. The days are skylights in a living room with sofa and chairs upholstered in wilderness color. We must look up to them as we look up to the morning star. And then I have the Tonka. This is called Autumn Afternoon, Hawaii. Long, thin palm leaves throw shadows like darkened fingers on hungry ground, awaiting winter rain to feed our summer dried souls. Should I read it again?
Sure.
Okay. Autumn afternoon, Hawaii. Long, thin palm leaves throw shadows like darkened fingers on hungry ground, awaiting winter rain to feed our summer dried souls. And then let's see, I have one that I just wrote lately. It's called, again, it's about squirrels, and it's called Everyday Squirrels. If I can get it here. Everyday squirrels. I've seen these squirrels bend over, but then they lift their heads, each with an acorn in its practical mouth. They scamper homeward haltingly, each blade of grass that fades to yellow, giving way beneath their quiet feet. They move, then pause again, their gray furred skin rippling from inside whenever they stop, wary, on their way. They then ascend to higher branches of large trees to store their food for winter, descending from their nests only to gather more, or to grace the sight of browning leaves with their long, soft, fluffy tails rising behind them whenever they walk. If these scenes, you sense, are not squirrel's full description, that I have left some details yet unspoken, consider this. They have the teeth to tear each acorn open.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Thank you. Interesting idea, Gloria. So I'll just throw it out there for November if you want to include a turkey in your poem. That would be okay. So, November is going to mark the last month, of course, for autumn here. So the poems for the November reading will follow very much the same theme as this one, but less emphasis on change maybe. And then winter is going to, of course, we all know all the winter themes, right? Death and dying and cold and bleak and, but I also would like to include promises in that because I think to me, I sort of think of winter as a promise that spring's going to come and uh, change isn't always bad and stuff like that. So I'll move forward. Great job, everybody. Thank you all. You can feel free to unmute. I'm going to stop the recording and we can just chat for a couple of minutes. Thank you for everyone for stopping by to this poetry reading, and we'll see you in November.